Chris from Laser Lemming, and I am gonna make this fast because my battery is dying. I can't find my charger, and just shattered a light. That's why the lighting isn't as good as I wanted it to be. But hey, there's a new Xbox coming. Xbox Scorpio. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth about whether or not Microsoft would release a new console, whether or not Sony would release a console, and whether or not Nintendo is going to do anything console related, especially at E3. They will not, by the way. There's going to be a 90-minute Zelda demo. That's it. Actually, 2 demos. They want you to use about 90 minutes if you're going to E3. I digress. Let's talk about Xbox Scorpio. That's the code name for the Xbox 1.5, which is a weird name because Xbox 360 was originally jokingly called, affectionately and not so affectionately, Xbox 1.5 because the graphics weren't as good as people expected them to be, at least at launch. But hey, I digress. Let's talk about Xbox Scorpio. So, hey, the rumors are, lots of rumors, Xbox Scorpio is going to be about 45% more powerful than the PS4K or the PS4 Neo, if you prefer to call it that. And who knows how much more powerful any of these consoles are going to be over the Nintendo NX. Also, if they are more powerful. But also, let's keep this moving. Nintendo is not what I'm talking about. Microsoft is releasing, this is all rumor, but it's definitely happening. So the Xbox 1.5 or the Xbox Scorpio is going to be announced at E3. That's in a few weeks, folks. They weren't planning on it. At least that's what Polygon is saying. They were not planning to announce a new console right now because the console is not going to come out until the end of next year. But apparently Sony's kind of forcing their hand here because the PS4K is rumored to be coming out a little bit earlier. Around the time, I believe, that Nintendo was saying that the NX is going to come out, which is about March of next year. So Microsoft does not have this train rolling yet, but they're going to announce it. And they're going to announce a Xbox One Slim for this year, and I guess most of next year too. So it's a smaller Xbox One, reportedly the smallest Xbox ever, but don't get your hopes up because the smallest Xbox ever does not mean anything. Every single Xbox has been pretty damn big. Xbox One is just the biggest of them all, and you know why the Xbox One is so big is because the Xbox 360 failed in such astronomically high numbers. Every original 360 is probably dead at this point, or has died at one point. So they made it so big, lots of ventilation because they did not want this thing to die this time. And so they did a better job, but hey, back to squashing it down. So hopefully their engineers are on top of it. Anyway, this console's coming out probably the end of next year, and who knows if Sony might delay their plans because of that, or if Nintendo might delay their plans. Nintendo's saying the NX is coming in March, but, you know, March is also the end of their fiscal year. So they are kind of announcing, like, we have to have it out by then. But they very easily could delay it, like, you know, this Zelda game that is coming out in who knows when. It's their only game, and it's coming out who knows when. They have no official date. It's just coming out in 2017 now for the Wii U and the NX. Anyway, I digress. What are your thoughts about Microsoft releasing a brand new Xbox 1.5, a brand new Xbox Scorpio? And what are your thoughts about it being more powerful than the PS4K? People were just saying Sony's crushing it. They're going in for the killing blow on Microsoft because not only is the PS4 more powerful than the Xbox One, the PS4K is going to crush it, and Microsoft has no plan. But apparently, you know, these chip makers, you know, you got AMD, anybody who works on hardware, especially the companies that work on hardware for both consoles. So there are companies that make chips for both the PS4 and the Xbox One. And these guys talk to the manufacturers. They talk to the companies that are designing these consoles and say, hey, you know what? Sony's got something planned. You might want to look into that and maybe get a contract with us to make a brand new console. And then they say the same thing to Microsoft. Say, hey, Sony is doing something, and you better be paying attention. And you better be paying us more money. So that's the kind of thing that happens. Anyway, I'm going on too long for the amount of battery I have. I better find this charger soon. Sorry for rushing through this. I just really wanted to get some points out. I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Is more power more important to you? Do you think that new, more powerful consoles are kind of squashing your enthusiasm for the current generation because it feels like you're kind of being rushed out? Even though these new consoles are very much likely going to be backwards compatible, it's more of a smartphone model, and it's not what we are used to in the console industry. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it won't be as fun running games on inferior hardware. If you have the original PS4 and you're playing Horizon's Edge or whatever games are coming out in the future on your old system, and it runs so much better on the new system because it's designed for the new system in mind, you're kind of getting the raw end of that deal, right? What are your thoughts on that? I'd like to know. Comment section below. Subscribe more if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.